Okay, continue with another Wusik Station 10 coding video. Trying to get some ideas for the value display. So let's check on Wusik Station 9 how it works. But you put a mouse over a parameter and it shows the information about the parameter. And it works. So I want to do something similar, but I need a graphic for where the thing is going to show, and I'm going to copy from the menu because the menu looks very good. But first I need to know a few dimensions. Where is my test layer again? Here. I'm going to make it the same for all the parameters, I guess, or at least a midterm, I would say. So the dimension of something like that. That, like, where's my taskbar? Status bar, actually. Uh, yes. I remember that yesterday I pressed something and it craps out all my tabs and things. The time instant perception. Hint line. It's hint line. I would never guess that. It was 146 by 62. Around that. Let me see my menu here. Be like that. So I could get portion of the menu and show in there. That would be something like this, but with the actually not the top and then the bottom. Not copying. Oh, of course. Separate. Okay. Okay. Can do that. So that's the top. Then we have the bottom because there is a shadow on the bottom. So size nine now 59. Let's see, it's going to show like here. So 960 27. Got it. 27 is going to be around here, so cut a lot. And I can remove those pink lines because I'm not going to use. It's one set of lines. That size out of line. I can change that later. It's not cut it. Select thin layer. Auto Plus is very good actually. Allows me to do a lot of stuff. Okay. Round in here. The bottom. Put on the bottom. Okay, so move this. But okay. We have to clear up here, clear up the pink line. Okay. And let's grab this guy here. Another full screen. Let's remove the sex. Still missing a part below, so let's make the canvas a bit higher. That's not so bad. Weird. Forgot that. Okay, do over. Guys, paste it. Canvas a bit more here. Just so the shadow shows correctly. Just a minute, guys. All right. You're not high enough. Okay, let's try 99. Okay. Well, now I have to cut this guy. Remove these. Remove the. Cut the right way. Then I can move this to another layer. Just make it easier to handle bitmap stuff. One percent. That should do it. Looks like the identical to the menu. Let's see the actual height of the area here. 65 by 109. Eh, not great, but could be a bit longer. But now we can merge all these visible areas. Pinky. I'm going to save this as something else. Value display. That's good. That's good. Now I can just go and make this a bit longer. Around like this again. My actual area is going to be around 137 by 60. Still a bit high, but it should be okay. Now I can go here and copy this guy. And set as a new layer again. Cut the exacts. And now I can set the actual size of this thing. From here should be selection, merge visible, that's corner. So now I have my value display. Okay. Should be. I'm also uploading my other video. And close this now and hit the file. And now I need to create another thing on the skin file. So let's go there. So that's going to be value display. Display, check. I need to create this file now. Okay, my cached file is going to be value display post value display. Easy. I have to create a temporary file just for that. Equal code image value display. This is for the temporary files creation, so I want this on the bottom. Okay. That and now they're going to have their own positioning. Just a bit of nitpicking. Now on my file here, things overlay. Number 19 goes value display. But there's another thing I want to do. Put this on the center there, but I actually going to use some pink lines to determine where it can be drawn. So let's create another layer. The layer. Delete few things. So now where it starts drawing it's in here, stops in here, stops in here. So the pink line determines where can be drawn of the text going to be needed. So for that again. I don't think I have started before. No, I didn't start it before. So okay, 19 is going to be value display. I'm going to just copy one of these guys here. Value display. Value display. That way it's going to change the colors from blue to red for this particular skin. And I'm going to show you a new trick I added to the file. It is keep start. Well, I don't need to recreate all these things. I just want to create the bottom area. Because we use skip start and skip end, then it's not going to worry about the rest of the files. But I want to check it's going to create the files correctly still. Going to should not delete all the other files. It only delete files now that are redrawn. See what? Forgot to remove that. You're loading cave. Oops, I put the wrong name. Cave. Oh, here. Oh, let me remove that show value for debugging. No longer needing. Actually, I could just go like. Oops. Why I haven't done this before. It's much easier. Loading should process file 20. It's actually 19. Rated. Display rated correctly. Global values rate correctly. Now I create correctly. Interesting. But anyway, there's just one small thing I want to do. I want to keep the files separated, not longer doing that way. Export display pink. Then the value display here, the actual. Okay, that's correct. Now, just a minute. Some water. Or something to process the pink file lines. One area that I do that. Not like the Wusik Station 10, I use something else. So many files. Oh, it's in here. Oof. So going to be something like dit and sprite. Display value. Where's value display? Oh, already forgot. Value display. Value display pink. The loads from source. I'll have to process. It has top pinks and left pinks. And I have to check how it's clearing this guy. I'm using for the screw bar too. Okay. So value display positions. How many I'm going to need? I could create because I don't want to create a component for that because it's not a component. It's going to be something external. And to show only on the knob. Could be part of the knob, like operator top to top right left top to bottom. Total. Use value display on the front, making more easier than. Okay. Now here instead of 6, I go knob value display total. Good work. Then I can show it on the bottom of the knob, or if the knob is almost on the bottom of the screen, so it wouldn't show, I would show on the top instead. That's going to be done by the widget, the knob widget. So every time it redraws, it draws again. So draw the background as well in here, considering that. But I should be able to enable or disable the value, because in some parameters you don't have to show the value because the value is already on the box. So let me check if the parameter. Oh, no, I'm on the screw bar. Knob render. Parameter. Display. Get display. Have any information? Seems that I have to do this manually as I create the each of the knob. Put this on the knob. No. Then I set display value to true when I need to display the value. To do this in the constructor so it's easier. False. Now we know already how to handle the display value. Now I have to add this to my list in here for the create knob. Create knob structure. I put true or false. And my memory is getting worse. Display value equals false. Check. Mouse. Display value. And add this to the bottom. Now I already have some. It's false. Okay. But sometimes it's so hard to code. So volume display value. Well, actually, I'm going to have more. Going to have less display value false than true. So let's put it true. Create knob widget as well. Because right now all these guys here need to display there. So now I can go to the back to the knob rendering. So okay, if you display I need to create another variable. Extra display value extra pose. But I need the image now. I don't have yet. So it's going to be background, moving background, panel background, and another one. Value display. 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 Let's create the file. I'll have to be very careful because it can be null if it doesn't need it. So we're going to put this on the end of the file actually. So display values equals true because we need the display value in here. Let's complain about. Okay. Problem. This null is going to be false. Going to be interesting. So now on my create knob, apply the display value, the actual display image. I could always pass it. It's not going to take more memory. I pass it or don't pass, it's going to be the same. So always going to pass it. Not a problem. Now I have my. I know the height of the image. Should be the whole image because it has the shadow. With the display value, we have to stretch the background a bit using the value display extra y extra x for the width. Where do we define this now? Get to extra x extra y. Should work. Same here. X extra y. And we do this for the other guys too. Now the only problem is that we also have a background going on the component. So I'm going to make this a part of the component. Not extra y, is extra height and extra width. That's that order. So it uses that instead when it draws the background for the component. By default, it's going to be 0. Put there in the component before I continue. I put it wrong again. Width, height. Ah, come on. Then height. Correct. So if this display value, we stretch everything fit correctly. There is more to do there. The panel have to stretch too. Lift. Knob don't change. And the last thing is going to be the display. Display value. Value. Display. I use, I don't know. I do this. Let's change this. It's not good. Let's keep something the same way. Value display. That's much better, right? Display. Oh, come on, not these guys. Where is my... Okay, that should do it. Let me compare just to double check, but now I should be able to draw it. So now I need to know the positioning where I'm going to draw it. Was thinking just below the object. We need to center it. For a minute here. Tuning get width by 2 is the actual center. Minus the actual size of the thing, but not the whole size, the just the drawing size, which will be like this thanks to the pink line. I'm going to do that. We're going to have to oh, just go and get this value here divided by very well centered. I'm going to do that. Well, maybe the first thing is to get the center of this. Okay. So the center of that should be. Oh, I'm not passing information. I have to pass information first. All the parameters and things in here, but I don't have the actual information of the positionings. It's the name that I created again. Where did I create it? To display positionings. You can use a pointer for that. Just have now to add this to the constructor. Add here. I have to check the create knob, pass this information, which is okay. Because with that, then I can calculate it, the positions correctly. Of course. Okay, we have the value position, so we need the top value display. Value display top left, top middle, where it starts. X is where it starts. Then we need the value display top middle, top right. Actually, Y has the width of the whole thing. It's X, the width, X here, and Y is the width. So I have the width already. So that divided by 2 gives me this positioning. And then need to add this guy here, which is going to give me the correct positioning. Plus the display left, top left, and then the width of that. Starting to think that I should use something else for those pink lines. Not really happy about it because it gets very confusing. Y is the width, X is the point. I'll think of something soon before the code gets too big. But this should give us already the half of the positioning. So if I get the center positioning minus all these, that's already divided by 2, so it's all these. That should be correct. Need also check for the mouse enter and mouse exit code because you need that. Mouse enter and mouse exit. I'm going to add this knob. And I have to create a variable for that. And I have to check if it's going to work correctly. Mouse exit paused. And is mouse over, otherwise it doesn't show. I'll have to draw the decal. So, the positioning. And we need positioning. Positioning. Get add around 18 so it doesn't strange. That's it. That should show the square. Next time, this next step is to change the text, create the text, the decal, and change it. Every times it changes. Remove. Check why it's doing like that. Just created with the pink line, so let me remove that and redo because I'm not using the pink lines anymore in the file. I'm using a separate file. Okay, now looks correct. It's not rendering in the right place. Not be too hard to figure out why. Let's remove the redraw here. Close this for now. So let me check again. The positioning. Oh, the px is wrong, of course. Should get x plus I have to fix another thing. It's kind of going to work, but it's not right place yet. It look kind of okay. Ah, I like the looks of it. There's just one small problem. I need to calculate this very early. Value display x equals 0. X something like that. This is not correct yet, but it's going to be. So what happens? Happens is my code for drawing the background not exactly correct. Thinking something about the width. The height is correct, it's just the width that's not correct. You know what? Before I continue, I was talking about the pink lines getting the way of the way I'm computing them. I'm really not happy about. And I'm going to create something new here, help me with that. Let me see first where I'm computing the most of the pink lines. Was already in there. Check. So the four locations I'm using are those locations in here. So I can change that something that's more easy to see. Because the way I created is not very good, to be honest. A bit confusing. Something there. Especially in this case here, that's for the menu. Because for the menu, come on, what am I missing? I'm always using X as a point reference and Y as a length. have two options. Let's think of something. Pinks. That's a bit fun. Pink lane and pose position would be much better to read. Have to figure out few things, but it should not be so hard. Very simple like that. Not much to it. Thanks. Going to be much better. Oh, what I pass instead the list of things, and then just you know what? I'm going to make a backup this before I continue. So gets too much confusing. I just go back and have a copy. Always good to have a copy. Just a minute. And so now I will have to think a bit. In this case, so X is going to be positioning, Y is going to be lane. I hope it's correct, because it's not correct. It's going to be a total mess. Length, positioning again, position. Finally, pose, position, and lane equals that. Should work much better now. Y, okay. Here's in position. Not so bad. Maybe already exists a class for this, but I like to create my own classes. Just the way I work. So now I have to check all these guys. Layer tunings. Where's the declarations? Put this to menu. Correct. The display. Now it should be much better. So now so positioning, plane, positioning. Be very carefully, because if I mess one of those, it's going to take me hours to figure out what I did wrong. So for the menu is going to be a lot of iterations too. Perhaps call something. Look then. Oh, image please. Excellent. Oh, I have to fix it. Strips. Links instead. Mm, and length again. A lot of work. Many places. Oh boy. I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna miss at least one. I could just search for point Y instead, but our already done the hard work. What the hell is this now? Oh, screw bar. Hmm, that. Screw bar is using that too. It's complaining there. The pinks. It's plural. Oh, it's going to be not fun at all. I could I could use some get searches or not. Careful. I'll get the Y. If I do one wrong, it's going to compile with an error, so I'm going to see it. Be easy to see it. Okay, I already did several. Let's still complain about a few things. And toolbar images positioning. Create as pink and now the value display. Rated. It's going to look much better. Some work, but at least it look good. Let's see how many errors we get now. Mhm. On default, always get confused with that one. Always going to be some errors, but not so many errors. Okay. Hey, compile it. Let's see if it's not going to crash. Good. Working. Menus are working. I got it. Good. Much easier to read. Now I have to think about the display value and how it's going to be. Um, but not right now. I'm going to take another break and maybe come back later. So, see you next time again. Thanks for watching.